For this project, I chose Queen and their 1974 album Sheer Heart Attack. Sheer Heart Attack was Queen's third album, and it was released during the height of their popularity during the glam rock movement. So the album helped Queen reach like a larger audience and showed off a theatrical style that would become their trademark, or one of their trademarks. So one thing that stood out to me with this album is, or listening to this album, is the variety there is between songs. Some tracks lean more towards hard rock, others are obviously glam rock, and with a little psychedelic influences on one of the songs that I am going to talk about. And even though some of the songs are like pretty different from each other, it still connects just because of Queen's vocal style with their harmonies and the drama. So my first standout track was She Makes Me. It's definitely one of my favorites just because it was, it had a softer, dreamy vibe. And I don't know, I personally felt like it was a bit psychedelic just because like, the lyrics weren't necessarily psychedelic, but there's just the overall like vibe of it, the atmosphere, the instrumentals. So yeah, I feel like it definitely felt a lot different from the other songs that were a bit more louder and had like some stronger vocals. So yeah, it's definitely one of those songs you listen to while like staring at the ceiling with your headphones on. Just gets a little slower. So another standout track to me was Flick of the Wrist. I really like this one because it's a little bit not, I wouldn't say darker, but it's a little more aggressive. Like Freddie Mercury's vocals felt pretty intense. Did I say who's in the band? Well, we'll do that at the end. Or at the end. So Freddie Mercury's vocals I feel like were pretty intense. This song has a lot of attitude and it's very dramatic. I think it's describing like an artist or just someone like essentially signing away their life with the flick of a wrist on a contract. So yeah, I really love that song. It's very theatrical for sure, and it connects really well to the glam rock style. So my last standout track was Killer Queen, of course. It was definitely one of their most favorite songs from the album, but I think it deserves a mention just because what stood out to me were the vocals and the vocal harmonies and the melodies. It was so satisfying. The chorus was just, oh, I loved it. It reminds me of like some of the things, so, like kind of what I liked about Bohemian Rhapsody. Like I love Bohemian Rhapsody, which I know, but I know I love Bohemian Rhapsody just because of how like fun the vocal harmonies are. So yeah, it's definitely clear why Killer Queen became one of the standout songs from this album. Just in general, it's one of their biggest hits. So I also wanted to give a honorable mention to Brighton Rock. I did not really enjoy the vocals, unfortunately, but I really liked the section for the guitar solo. It's a really long guitar solo. I like that it's really long. I just like when songs do that. It's a little like out of the ordinary to like give most of the song to the instrumentals or just like whatever the backing is. I really enjoy when artists do that, so I like that song. I think the guitarist is Brian May. So yeah, definitely one of the most memorable instrumental moments on this album. So musically, I think Sheer Heart Attack shows a lot of qualities associated with glam rock. The song's theatrical, the vocals are dramatic, and there's a strong focus on performance and entertainment. So Queen definitely wasn't just making straightforward rock music. They're creating something, big, and it's meant to be played. You can tell it's just meant to be played in a stadium, enjoyed by like large groups of people. It's very big and dramatic. So the visual style of the album also reflects glam rock through the use of the dramatic lighting, the stylized poses, and again, just making the band look almost larger than life. So instead of using like an ordinary band photo, it definitely feels like a performance image that matches the music on the album. So Queen's fashion during this era of course also fits the movement. So their stage outfits were flashy and theatrical, of course, and they definitely put a lot of effort into creating memorable outfits or a memorable image. So obviously glam rock is not just about the music, it's about the performance, the fashion, and creating a unique identity with your group. So Queen definitely helped contribute to that by combining strong musicality or musicianship with a strong visual style. So overall, I really enjoyed listening to Sheer Heart Attack. My favorite songs were She Makes Me, Flick of the Wrist, and Killer Queen. Just because I feel like they're the most interesting songs to listen to for sure. The one thing I feel like the album lacked was, I guess I would say consistency. But I don't know. I think it's pretty subjective. Like, I don't know. Some of the songs I just felt were, every album kind of has some of the songs are just okay. Compared to like the ones I mentioned, I felt like they're a little bit lacking. Yeah, they didn't really stick as well. But yeah, after listening to this album, I can definitely see why it was an important step in their career and why it fits into the glam rock movement. So thank you for listening. Also, I'm back. I should make sure I mentioned all of the members. I only mentioned two. The members are Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor, and then later John Deacon joined. So those are the members.